So just a couple updates for Cairo. Cairo's back in the building. He's squared away. His personal matter is all set, and I'll let him talk about that, but everything looks good in that regard, which is outstanding. And Badgley, you know, what a great job by him coming in, filling in a short notice. You know, obviously, you know, I had him at the last place we were at for a little bit, and he was steady then, and he was certainly steady yesterday. So, you know, credit to him. So I just want to give him that shout out right there because he did an awesome job for our football team. Cody, you know, Cody's going to miss some time. You know, he has a knee injury. We're not sure exactly what that time frame is right now, but going forward, we'll be with that same lineup that we had, you know, going forward. So we'll see where that goes. And but yeah, the guy started 99 games, you know, and has missed two, you know, during that career. So you talk about tough, and a guy that really shows, you know, Chicago Bear toughness. That's Cody Whitehair. So we're going to miss him for a little bit of time. You know, and then today was really about the same, right? You know, it's 24-hour rule. Move on to the next one. Talk to the players about consistency of execution. We were executing well at times, but we need to do it more consistently, and that was the big message today. So I showed a lot of the consistent plays in the improvements that we made. You know, some of the improvements that we made, I thought we played really well on special teams yesterday. Obviously, we know the last play on special teams wasn't what we wanted, but up to that point, we pinned them in there with some kickoffs. We pinned them in there with that punt. And I thought the coverage teams were really well. Protection was good. Obviously, the kicking operations were good. And that's a hats off to those guys. Those guys put a lot of work in and made some impactful plays, too. We caused the fumble and recovered that, which was 3 points for us. So that was on the good. We also thought we got the ball down the field in the passing game, you know, yesterday. So that was a good thing to see. You know, that's a good start for us, and some good confidence to be built from that. You know, so we're excited about that. So, and again, a lot of things that we needed to work on. You know, and then we got with our coaches and certainly worked on the individual techniques and fundamentals, but certainly the scheme things we need to improve as well. And that's going to be ongoing throughout the season. We got to keep getting better every week. So I will open up to questions from there.
Fair to interpret that Cody has IR in his future here?
I don't know that. I don't know yet. I don't know. I have to answer that on Wednesday.
Do you expect him to return this season?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, of all the defensive plays you looked at in reviewing the film, which is the most contrary to the way you guys do business? You know, which was the one that really stuck in your craw a little bit about, you know, this is not how we play?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there was a few plays out there yesterday that were certainly that. You know, us not executing, us not playing the way we do business, and we'll get that cleaned up. You know, if there's a few plays, obviously those boot plays by the quarterback, you know, those are certainly things we have to clean up. And then, you know, the quarterback keepers, you know, on those situational downs, you know, where they're just zone read quarterback keepers, we got to do a better job with that too as well.
And at this point in the season, are those lapses that are going to happen even with a good defense, or is this maybe an indication that, hey, these guys, they're not quite getting the grasp of the pitch as I thought? You know? Yeah,
I think it's both. And not to dodge the question, but I do think it's both. I think that some of the experiences are there that they're seeing for the first time in game, so I think you'll get some of that, you know, with the crew that you're just starting to develop. You know, and then we just some of them is just they are repetitive, you know, repeated plays. We got to do a better job executing.
Specifically with Brisker on those two.
No, it was three different coverages every time, so it was really three different guys. So it was a different situation every time.
How frustrating is it when a plan comes together to the greatest degree of your control? It comes together just how you saw it, and then obviously the kid doesn't catch the ball, and then now you got to kind of question everybody second guessing. Is that frustrating for you at all when your late game plan? Not at all. It seemed like it went exactly as you wanted it to go, and you still kind of got an answer for it.
No, I think it was good. You know, we had the 3rd and 2.5-ish right there, and we ended up not getting that, so we decided to punt. At that point, at 3:04, you know, we got him pinned down there. What a great punt that was! It rolled, and we certainly got a good bounce there to get him down to that 4-yard line. You know, and we banged 2 timeouts, you know, right there, and wasted minimal time. We let it run on 3rd down, you know, because we saw the time on the clock with the 2 minute, and we would have got the ball at 2:01, probably around the 45 or 50-yard line, you know. So to me, that's how I look at it, you know. So that's just operation, you know, and game management, to the best of our ability. Again, it's hard. It's hard, but we did a nice job there yesterday and gave ourselves a chance to go down and score and get a 2-point conversion. And then the young man, Halas, obviously, has to learn, the fundamentals of it and do a better job, which he did during the course of the day, just not on that one. He just got to get himself under the ball, like he said, after in the locker room, and squeeze his elbows together and be squared away there. So he's an explosive player and a dynamic player, so he'll learn from that.
Is there any thought to put the veteran there for just that kick return? That his return punts his whole career, or is the punt return of the punt return?
Yeah, there was no thought there on that. There was no thought. He had done a good job all day. There was no thought. We trust him, and he was right there. So,
Matt, given how you had kind of struggled to stop the run at that point in the game, what gave you that confidence that your defense would come up with the stop to get the ball?
yeah, I just thought we were going to do it. There. I thought we had it cleaned up in the second half a little bit better, and I thought we were on point. In some degree, I felt pretty confident there. So that's our decision we made.
There was a 3rd and 10 late in the first half. Justin ends up scrambling for 12 yards to get in the first down, but he had Mooney streaking up the
Yeah.
middle. What was your overall assessment from your vantage point on what that play is supposed to do and what didn't happen?
Yeah, that's a very basic play. That's just vertical. 4 vertical play. And Mooney on that one's actually supposed to be bending across the formation. He's supposed to be bending across. He was not supposed to go vertical. So I think that kind of caught him off guard a little bit. But he certainly had time on that. Yeah, he certainly had time and could have rode the pocket there a little bit more. But he decided to take it because what we were telling him is that to take the check down or run on that when they're in that defense. But yeah.
Even when the route is not run the way it's supposed to, how much do you have to coach the see what you see?
Yeah.
part of things?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yep, get your eyes downfield and see what you see and take what they give you. Certainly you have to do that for sure.
On the 3rd and 9, the Giants' 3rd and 9 play, Saquon Barkley is a short pass. Once Nick Morrow misses the tackle there and
Yeah.
Barkley switches direction, what's the defense supposed to do there to flow, to pursue?
Yeah, that was a impactful play. That really was. If we make that play there, that's a big change in the game. I think that was a big momentum shifter for us. It was man coverage, and we just have to do a good job of bringing our feet on that tackle. Brisker tried to come down, and leverage it, which he did, and it cut back inside of him. But when you're in man coverage, the guy in man-to-man's got to make that play on him.
Matt, throughout the course of a game, you talked about your use of analytics and balancing that with gut and your own feel of a game. As you've gone now through 4 games as regular season games as a head coach, how have you balanced that? How have you kind of used that throughout the course of a game and some of these key decisions?
Yeah, I think it's been relatively good. Like I said, every situation is different. We certainly haven't been perfect, but we've been pretty good, giving our guys a chance to win the game at the end. But I think it's a balance you have to have. I think a lot of times that's the 4th down, go for it. Mostly you're discerning information. Like for example, replay review. You were discerning information from the booth. Did we get a good look? Did we not get a good look? How many cameras are on the field? What's the angle? If it's a primetime game, obviously you got more cameras. If it's a game like yesterday, you have 11 cameras. Sometimes you have pylon cameras. Sometimes you don't. So there's all those things that you have to think about. In terms of throwing the flag for the replay. So, but again, like in 4th down decisions, we decide those pretty much, earlier, during the week. Thursday, Friday, we talk about them. Saturday, we talk about them again. But those things float during the course of the game. You might have a block in the field position that's, hey, it's go for it, 1 to 5. For example, in the quad zone. Sometimes that changes. It might open up based on how the game's going, and it might shorten down as how's the game going. So you have to look at those things and talk those things all the way through the game.
In a spot though, like where you did have the 3rd and 3, and then turn it into a 4th and 1. Is that like more analytics or gut? And same with late in the game where it is 4th and 2 and you like to punt and as you said, it worked out the way you wanted. Like how much of that is the balance of analytics versus what you think is the right decision?
Yeah, we were going on that one. We're going by the numbers. That was the numbers one right there. That was no gut on that one.
The 3rd down pass, I think from the 11, where Justin threw toward Pettis, but there were 2 guys he threw over his head. What is the look there?
Okay, wait, hold on. The 3rd and 11 pass.
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. It was on their bench.
Yeah, red zone, going in.
Okay.
He threw a little corner to Pettis, who had a guy on him. It was high.
Okay.
Is that his first read there? And there's Komet kind of running a little over in front of him, but it looked like they had a spy on Fields. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Where's he supposed to go with that?
Yeah, I don't know the play you're talking about. If I recall it, I don't know. He said it was in the red zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 minutes into the game, it's
Okay.
37.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at that one. I didn't recall that one.
You said last night you wanted to see your offensive line on film. What did you think against the Giants? What do you make of them after?
Yeah, it was good in spots. We had good protection at times, but obviously it broke down some in the middle at times. One of their inside rushers had a pretty good day. So we have to firm up inside there. I thought we need to just run off the ball a little bit better, which we know that the guys were told that, and also the runners need to press the line better. So we need to have a better day there. We had a solid day, but we've had really good days the last 2 games. So our standards are high. So we want that from those guys.
For Halas Jones to make it on the field on offense, is that something like he's got to get his legs under him since he's coming off the injury, or do you need to see something more from him in practice as he gets back?
Yeah, I just think it's just building upon where he's at. Once we know that he's good to go and solid, we'll start building him in there, as we go. But it'll be a small role, then a bigger role, and if he improves and goes, we'll just keep building it.
Last week you chose to sit on the ball before the half. This week went the other way, used the timeouts, made sure the offense had an opportunity. Is that an indication of a growing confidence in them, or what went into the decision to go different?
Yeah, I just think that we did a better job. We did a better job with managing that situation. And, last time it was, like I said, after the game, we were in 3rd and 1, we were in 13 personnel. We switched to 11 personnel. It took longer than I thought, and I should have called it at 35 seconds. I didn't. I let it run. We got sacked on the next play and took it to half. So that's where we are, So I thought yesterday we managed it a little bit better, and we got a chance to get some points.
Now, when you got your eyes on the fumble recovery effort, what did you see? You said yesterday you wanted to see it on video.
Yeah. The fumble recovery you're talking about on the punt?
When Justin got
hit
and the ball came out.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harder because, and again, all those guys got loafs on that play, just so we know that. But
the 4 that were.
the linemen that were right there, and then the receiver that was there. So I think that, that one's a little harder because it's coming from behind him. Typically when you have a fumble, if I'm a defender and I got, we're punching the ball, we're all pursuing the ball. You can see that ball. It's like when when Blackwell caused that fumble, then Jalen was right there and it was squirting out, then he got it. Well, everybody can see it. That's a little harder. It's like, hey, I'm pass pro, and all of a sudden this thing drops out of the sky, over my head, and then it's there. So I think Cody was caught off guard, as all the linemen were, but we just had to be ready for it and jump on it and have some reaction there. So.
Is there any value in carrying a kicker on your practice squad?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. Your
ability to identify somebody real quick in a pinch and bring him in and have
Yeah.
him perform. What does that say about either Ryan and, like you said, you had some knowledge of Batchley too?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say that Ryan did a great job with working out the kickers and then getting the kickers in here to actually bring a guy up. Oh, man, he did an awesome job. And he was, right on it. So as soon as we found out the situation with Cairo later in the week, man, we got the kickers here the next day. And then sure enough, it didn't go the way we wanted it to. And then we brought Badgley up. And that was a credit to him and his staff, man. They did an awesome job.
Your points allowed is above average, some would say acceptable level, but how much does that mask issues you might have, you as a coach, not just us, but you as a coach might have about your rushing defense, just in general? I mean, do you see that as a be-all, end-all, like, as long as we're holding them to certain points, we're okay, or
No, that's a good question, and I would say no. I think we are trying to improve every aspect of our football team right now. So that's honest. I mean, we're trying to improve our rushing offense, our rushing defense, pass offense, passing defense, special teams, and we have to improve in every area. We have to keep getting better. So is some areas better than others? The scoring defense is good, and our rushing offense is good. Okay, I'll buy that, but we still have to improve on our entire football team.
is there, with the run defense, is there an issue that is, I don't know, serious or something that?
It's technique and
tougher to fix than
it's technique. It's tough. NFL's tough now. You know, if you show something that you have, they're going to keep attacking it. So you got to make sure that you shore those things up, and that's the way the NFL is. You know, that's what makes it so great. You know, so we have some work to do. We got some work to do there.
Matt, you mentioned how you're in those quarterback meetings. What's the challenge right now of coaching up Justin to sometimes not run into pressure when, as you acknowledged, he was also facing pressure up the middle
Yeah.
at points in that game?
Too. I'm talking about a couple plays where he kind of maybe left
Yeah.
the pocket too early and ran into pressure when really
Right.
lean in front of him.
Yeah, I think it's just pocket presence as he gets more experience. You know, I think he did a nice job of riding the pocket a couple of times, staying in there, delivering the ball for sure. We talked about those plays, and it's just more experience. More experience on a job, he's going to get better at it.